my Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1103 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. StickerU.com. Create custom stickers, labels, tattoos, and decals for your home and your business. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Electronic Products Recycling Association. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. And Canna Cabana. The lowest prices on cannabis. Guaranteed. Over 100 stores across the country. Learn more at cannacabana.com. Today, making his Toronto Mic debut is comedian Abbas Wahab. That hesitation was for some dramatic effect there, but I know it's Wahab. How did I do?
Yeah, Wahab. It's Abdul Wahab. It's really Arabic, so either way, you're doing fine.
So you say your name, properly, and then I'll see how I say it. Go ahead.
Abbas Wahab.
Abbas Wahab.
Yes,
okay, Abbas, welcome, man. Nice to see you.
Hey, nice to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Do you drive? Do you drive an automobile?
Yes, sir.
Did you drive here?
You're like, are you using Geico insurance?
No, I don't have any insurance
I
to sell you. Okay, because this morning I returned a Nissan Armada that I borrowed for a camping trip, and this thing was just humongous. So I just wanted to thank the good people at Nissan for this. Basically, it's just a ginormous automobile. I don't know if you've seen these Armadas, but you could live in these things.
Oh, yeah, they're like those Infiniti QX80s or whatever, just massive.
Massive automobile, but that's what's good because I had a lot of gear and stuff to go camping. It was roomy and it was smooth, and the 6-year-old did not get motion sickness, so it was actually a great week. And I returned it this morning, and then so I throw my bike in the back of the Armada, then I drop off the Armada, and then I bike to Great Lakes Brewery. So do you drink? By the way, I'm so rude as a host because you sat down and I didn't ask you. Do you want a cold beer from the fridge?
As long as it's Great Lakes Brewery.
Okay,
I don't touch anything else.
Do you have a preference, like IPA or a Canuck Pale Ale or a lager? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I'll do an IPA. When I'm doing just one beer, I'll do an IPA.
Okay, so...
Yeah. This guy right here is fine, by the way.
But that's room temp. You don't want me to run up and get you one out of the fridge. It's up to you, but I like my beer cold, but some people do like it at room temp.
Well, Mike, if you're offering.
Abbas, I'm gonna run up and grab that for you. So here's what you're gonna do, because I won't edit this. Give everybody, and I'll be listening as I'm doing this because I'll only be 25 seconds, but give everybody a background on I mentioned you're a comedian, but there might not be a lot of name recognition with you, Abbas. So give everybody like a 101 on you, and then we'll pick it up and kind of dive deeper. But go ahead. You're in charge. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. Local guy raised in London, Ontario, out here in Toronto and trying to make my mark. Thank you for having me here on the podcast. To all you beautiful listeners out there, check out my newest self-produced special on YouTube called Safe Black. The name, we will get into it. But yeah, you could listen to it on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever the hell you get albums. It's available there. And like I said, cut for a full video special as well on my YouTube, youtube.com/Abbas Wahab. Check out the self-made comedy special, 25 minutes. Check that out. Get the backstory or hear it right now. He's coming down the stairs. People don't like silence. And we are...
All right, tell the people what I gave you there. Burst.
Ooh, we got Burst. Beautiful can artwork. Tank 10, Great Lakes Brewery. New England Pale Ale.
Burst is also the beer I drank when I dropped by this morning. So I dropped by because I did a like a site inspection because Thursday night is TMLXX. That's the. I'm out of breath. I thought I was in good shape. Like
8 steps.
it's funny how like. I went for a 60K ride the other day and I felt great the whole time and there's lots of hills and stuff. But then I run up the stairs and back and I'm like, I'm not sure I'm in as good a shape as I think. It's kind of like it's a different like...
muscle groups.
Is that it?
Yeah. 60K, that's for 8 steps of vertical movement? No, that's...
It's funny. It's like, what's going on here? Okay. So I went to Great Lakes for a site inspection because Thursday night is the 10th Toronto Mic Listener Experience. If you're going to crack that open, do it on the mic. So you want to go first and then I'll go second. I also have a burst. Right on the mic. So right in front of the mic.
I like to.
All right, I'm
going to
do mine first.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta. What you have no fingernails there. You don't use your teeth. If you break your tooth.
Oh, I do. Trust me, I do this all the time. People need to. It's all on track 8 of the new album. I'm kidding. Imagine. But yeah, this is for Great Lakes.
Abbas, that's bad. I'm warning you. You're gonna chip your tooth. That's it's. I mean.
I didn't get a nice because it wasn't all in one fluid motion, and I know nothing sells at Great Lakes like a.
What are you doing Thursday night?
This Thursday?
Yeah, come quickly up with a good excuse because I know we're.
I'm doing a thing, Mike. I'd love to, but I'm.
You're washing your hair.
Yeah, thing. Yeah. He's like, I thought you were bald. Yeah, it's a treatment.
Wait, what do you have under that hat? I haven't seen. Oh yeah, you are
stubble,
bald,
my friend.
Okay, you're not washing your hair. You're
stubble.
Scrubbing your beard.
No, I'm doing a very optimistic treatment. It's a scalp treatment with a lot of optimism and faith. Heavily religion based.
Many FOTMs are collecting on the lawns of Great Lakes Brewery, which is 30 Queen Elizabeth Boulevard, for TMLXX, which is our 10th Toronto Mic Listener Experience, and we're celebrating 10 years of Toronto Mic. So I was there, like, where's the stage going to be? Like, where does the Palma Pasta go? Because Palma Pasta, and you're leaving here with a lasagna.
Okay.
You're going to get your lasagna. Palma Pasta is going to feed everybody who comes out. So, like, I got to, like, where's the pasta going to be? Everybody who comes out for TMLXX gets their first beer on the house. By the way, $5 for that beer. Do you have cash or do you want to tap? Just kidding.
We'll talk. We'll figure it out.
It's all yours. But your first beer is on the house. And, like, where's everybody going to sit? Like, just checking it all out. And it's all in good shape. So, like, I'm, like, super jazzed about this. And I want you to know, Abbas, you are, like, totally invited to this if you're around Thursday night from 6 to 9 p.m.
Where's it located?
It's, like, near Royal York and Queensway. What neck of the woods do you live in?
I'm in the York area, a little south of Yorkdale Mall.
Okay. Well, you jump
way
on
up there.
Yeah, you come, I don't know, you get on the Gardner somehow. I don't even know how you do it.
I would open up Google Maps probably. And
I think you're going to 401 to 427. 427, I don't know what they'll get you to
take
exit
Eglinton
on.
exit or Black Creek. Whatever.
Get on Gardner, and then you take like Islington North, and then you get up, and then you get... Anyways, it's right down the street from the Costco. So you're invited, dude. Glad to meet you. I heard that you're from London?
Yes, sir. Raised in London, originally from Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when you arrived in London? 6 years old.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are your memories of Sudan? Have you been back?
I did. I used to go back every 5 years or so for the summers, and it was interesting, right? Because I grew up in like subsidized housing in London, but then when you go back to Sudan, you're like a Canadian prince, right?
Oh, wow.
So it's like you go from like subsidized housing to like, it's the Prince of Canada.
Well, I just was reading that Nazem Kadri had brought the cup to London like this past weekend, I think.
Oh yeah, I a long time ago, him and I won some awards for like the Muslim Association community thing. He won a sports kind of like did it big in sports, and I won like a big in academia type of thing.
Okay, so you're a smart guy.
Yeah, once upon a time I was. I did engineering and.
Oh, look at you! What post-secondary school did you attend?
The University of Waterloo.
Okay, great school. Okay, look at you. I have no idea who's going to be in my basement. Smart cookie here. Okay, so we are going to talk about the immigrant experience later. So you're 6 years old. You arrive in London. I always wonder, like, why London? Why not Toronto? Like, why London?
Well, pretty much no matter where you're from around the world, you figure out where your people are and you just go there. And then they just give you the lay of the land. And it's kind of like an on-site tutorial for your arrival. So that's why, like, Lebanese are in Calgary. That's why Sudanese are in London, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, I'm learning a lot here. Kanan is from Sudan, right? Kanan, the rapper.
Somali.
Oh, you know what?
Somalia. Yeah. Yeah, close.
Okay.
I'm not mad.
Where's the map here? I'm geographically challenged. Shout out to Esri here. So we're going to talk about the immigrant experience. And that's cool that you and Kadri got these awards. So are you a practicing Muslim? Like, are you
Not
a religious
at all,
man?
No, not at all. Well, besides my 3 o'clock burst IPAs.
Well, okay, it's like, so that's real talk here, okay?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to drink if you're a practicing Muslim. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there's one violation there. What else? Like, are you allowed to eat pork?
No pork, no drinking, no premarital sex, no shit talking, no hurting yourself. So technically speaking, you're not even supposed to smoke cigarettes, but obviously there's a gray area there.
Can you smoke weed?
Oh, you can. No.
No. What if it's medicinal?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're allowed to use medicine. Okay, but you can't smoke weed for recreational purposes.
Yeah, so you gotta show your medical card to God. You know what I mean? You gotta pull it up with the imam, show him the card. He's like, "Oh, okay, cataracts. All right, you're good to go."
Let me understand this. And I was raised Catholic, and now I'm a happy atheist. But is it the thought process there? And I know you're no longer practicing because you cracked open a beer, but you're in big trouble, mister.
Yeah, with my teeth. Make no mistake.
So that's that's 0 for 2 right there. But like, God doesn't want you to have fun. Is that it? Like, is it too much fun? Like, just give me the reasoning behind, because I understand the pork thing. Because I spoke to my rabbi, not that kind of rabbi, Ralph Ben Muragin. Back in the day, like, you could get sick because they didn't have good refrigeration and stuff. Like, you could get sick from eating the pork and stuff. So there was like this historic reason, like long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But I'll talk about that in a minute. But like, what is the reasoning behind no alcohol, no weed, no premarital sex and all that? Is it just like to keep you in line? Like, what is the deal there?
Essentially, we'll say that. Essentially, long story short, yes. But what's funny about alcohol is, as the religious lore goes, it used to be allowed. But then, kind of like a story out of like the Garden of Eden, Muslims fucked up way too hard, proved they couldn't handle it, so then it became forbidden.
Oh, it's like a punishment. Like, it's sort of like when your kids are acting up and you're like, okay, no more tablets. I'm taking away the tech for the weekend or whatever.
That's what happened with alcohol with us. We partied way too. It was
can
like
you get
Animal
it back?
House.
Like, if you're good, can you earn it back? Like, there should be some kind of like merits program.
That's the crazy part. There isn't. There's no sort of system, second chance system. No rehabilitation. None of that.
Now, do your parents know you drink alcohol? Like, are they okay with the fact you're breaking all the rules?
No, absolutely not. My mom's like none level. Not
like,
really.
Well, she won't hear this then? I'm worried you're going to
Not at all. No,
this.
unless we start talking about the prophet's doings, right? But like, not really privy to like all of my comedy happenings, multimedia happenings, but absolutely not. In fact, my mom would be shocked to find out that I had premarital sex.
I'm shocked to find that.
I had it right before I came. No, imagine. I was in the car by myself.
So you're not married then? So I'm
not.
learning everything from you on the fly here. Okay.
I'm a disappointment.
Okay. So, and you will eat bacon, right? Because you're not practicing. So like, if you'll eat pork?
I've got taste buds. You know what I mean? Yeah, I will.
Is it at all like Judaism? Again, remember, I'm a happy atheist who was raised Catholic, right? So it's like, I'm trying to learn all these things, but I do know people who are Jewish, like they participate in all these like Jewish customs. Like they'll have holidays where the family gets together and there's all these like Jewish things they do, but they consider themselves like atheists. Like it's sort of like they follow Judaism like for cultural, like I want to say almost like family or nostalgia reasons. Like where I don't know if I have that in me. Like I'm either in or I'm out. Like if I'm out, I'm not sure I'm going through the motions on all these. Like, so will you celebrate religious holidays?
Yeah, it's for me. It's the same for Jews, where it's like family and religion are so intertwined. There's no escaping one without the other. Whereas for a lot of people, it used to be family time, and on Sundays we go to church. Right. So if I don't do that, I just skip the Sunday part. Whereas with Jews and Muslims, everything is freaking intertwined so deeply that like walking away from the religion is just like, when am I going to see them again? You know?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we're going to dive deep into more of this, but can you tell me? No, actually, before I ask you to tell me anything, I'm going to tell you something, Abbas. You listening closely here?
Let go of my arm. You're hurting.
For almost 50 years, you're a much younger man than me, but for almost 5 decades, there's a word I haven't been able to say correctly. Okay, I'm glad you're here.
I hope it's not the N-word, bro. You know? You're in my basement. These are my rules.
It is not the N-word, okay? And I'm glad you said the N-word, although you have license, I suppose. I don't know. I don't say that word. But In fact, even when I'm in the car now, I hope my daughter's listening. If I'm in the car now and I'm listening to one of the jams I love that's dropping the N-word, I'll rap along and I'll like go quiet for that part. Yeah. Even when I'm alone in the car, okay? That's how
progressive.
That's
how much of an ally you are, Mike.
That's how much,
I knew I liked you.
That's how much I won't say that word.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Wendy Mesley. Okay. So, there's a word. I'm going to spell it for you and then you're going to say it. But first I'm going to say the word I can say correctly. What is it? I'm going to spell this, right? That you're a smart guy. I heard you went to engineering school and all this, okay? W-O-M-A-N. Okay, visualize that. W-O-M-A-N. What is that word?
Woman.
Right, okay. Woman, right? Did I say it right? Woman? Right.
I believe so.
So for like 50 years, I can say the word woman. That is singular. To me, that's the equivalent of the word man, right?
Absolutely.
So, you're a man, and if there's two of us in this basement, we are men. Okay? Men. So you take the word woman and you change M-A-N to M-E-N. Now say that word. W-O-M-E-N. Say that word, Abbas.
Women.
Say it again.
Woman.
See, you're doing what I think I do. Your W-O-M-E-N sounds exactly like W-O-M-A-N. Because what I do, okay, it's all about me now, Abbas. I take the word woman, and then I try to just keep the first part. I keep that first syllable exactly the same. And in my brain, I change the M-A-N to M-E-N. So my woman becomes woman. And those words, so somebody wrote me a note and said, I have a tip for you. Like, you keep mispronouncing this word. I've been doing it wrong for 50 years. Elvis has had fun with me and everybody. The Steve gentleman, thank you. I think he's going to be at TMLXX on Thursday, so I'll give him a more public thank you. But he said to me, it's not, you're doing it wrong. Like, you don't take the first syllable and just change the second syllable. It's a whole different word. Think of it as rhyming with like swimmin' or Simmons. Steve Simmons is an FOTM. So
women.
Right, it's women. Like, it's not woman, it's woman, women. The W-O-M is like W-I-M.
Yeah.
Like women. You hear that?
Absolutely. And I think off the bat, I kind of say women. And what I do is when I want to refer to a singular woman, I just say lady, and solve that whole thing.
That's right.
I just go lady or chick.
Okay. So it's Wonder Woman. And if she were cloned, there would be Wonder Women.
Women, yeah.
So I just want to let like the world
It'd
know.
be wonderful women.
I now have the secret. Like, I feel like it's got to rhyme with like Simmons, women. But here, I can't wait for Elvis to come back. I think he'll be back for Festivus, and then I'm gonna let him know I figured this out. So, Boss, I can now say the word women.
Hooray! Let's go. Cheers to that. Cheers to that, Mike.
All right, cheers.
It's like, let's hit the tap on the mic.
Do you smoke weed?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm going to hand you, this is the last one, so you should be honored to be getting this here. This is a Canna Cabana ashtray. That's for you right now. I'm handing it over. If you're buying cannabis or cannabis accessories, Canna Cabana will not be undersold. I'm talking to Andy there about what he's bringing to TMLXX on Thursday. But yeah, there you go. That's a little swag for you from that. You can have that.
Thank you.
You can have the lasagna. You can have the beer from Great Lakes. A little more housekeeping before we dive into more Abbas here. Farah Nasser. Do you know this name, Farah Nasser?
No, I don't.
She is like a global news anchor. If you ever watch Global News, Farah Nasser. Now, she was scheduled to be my guest Thursday, which was going to be tricky anyways because I'm getting ready for TMLXX. But she was going to come over Thursday. Now, her kid has an appointment, so we postponed that till mid-September. And I was going to ask Farah, like, what does she think of what's going on with Lisa LaFlamme? Are you aware of the Lisa LaFlamme controversy?
I'm not. These are all new names to me.
This is news to you, too. Boss, Lisa LaFlamme, and I didn't watch her either, but I was well aware of her, like, who she was. But she's the lead anchor for, like, the national news from CTV.
Okay.
So is it fair to say, like, you're a much younger man than me, that, like, television news is nowhere on your radar? Like, this is not, you don't get your news by tuning in to television stations.
No, I stay that just gets me all depressed and worked up. And
so how do you consume your news?
Every time before I record a podcast, I go quickly on Google News, I type in world news, and I skim through for anything that's noteworthy. And anything that's big enough will make its way to me. You know,
Things you need to know, people will tell you.
we'll make your way back.
Okay, so how often do you record a podcast?
Once a week.
Do you have a set day, or does it depend?
It releases on Tuesdays. I record whenever I can get the guests in.
Okay. And can you tell me about your setup? Like, does your guest visit you? Do you have a studio?
I have a studio in my house.
Okay.
2 camera setup, 2 mics. I got a producer that comes in now, but the first 150 episodes or so were solo.
Okay, so you self-produced the first 100, and now you have a producer.
Well,
why am I not the producer? How did I not get that gig?
Oh, I didn't know I could afford you, Mike. You got a nice basement setup.
Tell
Here.
me-
I don't got
tell me
basement
about
money
your
like
setup.
that. Yeah.
How does it compare to my setup?
I like this. This is a lot more space conscious. Very good. I like it. You got
Economy of space.
absolutely.
Because I have no more room in the inn.
I'm using a full bedroom, and it's already pushing my relationship to the limits. So I get where you're at.
Who sleeps in that bedroom?
No one. It's just
Okay,
a
it's a
giant
spare
desk
bedroom.
and office and everything.
Okay, so what is your name of your podcast, and what is it about?
It's called the Immigrant Section.
Okay.
Have immigrants on. We shoot the shit. We do just something like this, but there's, ethnic people in the room. We'll
Are
say.
white people allowed on your program?
Absolutely. That was the last
As
guest
long
I
as
had.
they're from another country?
No.
Okay.
Even white people.
Even people born here?
Even people born here.
Okay.
In fact, my last guest was conceived in a test tube. He was a white guy that came right out of a brochure. Maximum white. Blonde hair, blue eyes. For parents that could not conceive, he came out of the catalog.
Okay.
So even he made the cut.
He's an immigrant, though, from like a test tube.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many episodes have you done?
170.
Okay, no, I think that's amazing. I would argue most podcasts don't see episode 170. That is fantastic.
Well, 1100's crazy. How long have you been doing this?
Well, we're celebrating 10 years on Thursday.
That's incredible. So
10
you do,
years.
I guess, 2 episodes a week?
Okay, well, nowadays I'm doing probably more than that. So it's like in the beginning it was like once a week or so, and then it kind of morphed into maybe twice a week. And
When
then
did you shift to twice?
well, at some point my full-time job disappeared, and I started my own digital services company called TMDS. And then when that happened in 2018, I realized I could just do whatever the fuck I want. Like if I want to have, a boss on a Monday tomorrow, Rob Pruce, who is the keyboardist, he was keyboardist for Spoons during their heyday. Ooh. And here, so I'm going to do a lot of tangents here, boss. But so Rob Pruce, who lives in New York, is visiting me. He's going to be here where you're sitting now. He'll be there tomorrow, and we're going to kick out the jams, and that's amazing. And then he's coming to TMLXX on Thursday. And soon I'll share an itinerary because I've been working on what's happening when. But at some time between 6:30 and 7, Rob is going to go on the keyboard and he's going to play something for us. I'm hoping for Nova Heart. Give us some Nova Heart keyboard performance or whatever. But this is happening, and I think that's pretty damn cool because he's one of our great keyboardists. Okay.
Talking about a world level talent here, huh?
Are you familiar with Spoons?
I can't
You're too
say
young.
that
You're
I
too
am.
young. Listen.
I know the Doors. That's even older, probably.
The Doors are older. I have a mind blow about the Doors. I might share at TMI.
Please.
Do you want it?
Yeah. Well, you could save it for Thursday, or you could tell
But
me.
you won't
off
be
air.
there. You
Oh,
won't
I'd
be
love
there
it. I'd
on.
love it.
Okay, I actually had to take notes.
Hey, don't write me off so quick, Mike. I might show up. Is there stand up happening?
We have a mutual friend, right? Can you shout out the FOTM who introduced you to me? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Amish Patel?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, I can. That's my guy, Amish Patel.
Okay, bring Amish to TMLXX. I loved my chat with him.
Want me to call him right now?
Yeah, do you want to call him? We'll go and put him on
Let's see.
speakerphone and just ask him what he's doing Thursday night, and then ask him if he's coming to TMLXX.
Call Amish Patel.
Okay, this is exciting. Honestly,
See, he's always on Do Not Disturb. So
well,
let's
if
see.
he doesn't answer, he doesn't answer. But
Yeah.
this is
See here.
exciting. Okay, let's see. We should have warned him to be.
Call Amish Patel.
Okay, this is exciting.
Call Amish Patel. Freaking Siri sucks sometimes. Here we go. Okay, let's see.
Okay, live podcasting here. Here we go. And then maybe I'll run my mind blow by you with regarding the Doors. Okay, so we're calling FOTM Amish Patel. Let's see.
What's up, baby?
Hey, brother, God is good, huh?
Yes, it's good.
Brother, I'm here with Toronto Mike. He wants to ask me, how did I even know you? Say hi to Toronto Mike. You're on air, brother.
Toronto Mike, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Ask him if he can't hear me, right? Ask him if he's coming to TMLX on Thursday night.
Are you coming to TMLXX on Thursday night, bro? 10 years of Toronto Mike. He needs to know.
Wow, I have a loving kindness meditation. It's like I think I told him about it too. I emailed him and we talked about this. But listen, I think it'll be a great. I'll send a loving kindness from my meditation.
And where does your meditation air?
Not air. It's a live in person at Content Day. It's a studio on 100 Symes Road in Toronto. It's a great event.
Same day, same time. No, I was kidding.
Same day, same time, basically.
So how do you know Amish?
Oh, me and Amish just met in the comedy scene. Okay, I'm gonna let you go, Amish.
All right, peace and love to him. Peace and love.
Bye, buddy. Just from the comedy scene, you know, I got Amish is actually a pretty involved actor and writer. He's part of the Writers Guild. He actually taught me a lot about it. He used to run an audition studio out of his house that I auditioned at. That was the first TV I ever booked, was auditioning from his house.
What show?
The Boys.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was gonna say some obscure thing nobody's ever
Yeah,
seen.
exactly.
Oh, The Boys.
Toronto
okay.
Bagels. You've never heard of it? We aired
So
on.
how does that work? How does so the boys have him auditioning like?
No. He just ran a studio out of his house.
Okay.
Nice microphone, nice camera, and I
Yeah.
do a self-tape there.
Oh,
and
I
submit
see.
it
You
and book.
okay? I got Peter Gross an advertisement once because we did that here. Okay, so we're ready for the mind blow, and I don't know if I'll
Please,
do this on
please.
Thursday, but okay. There's a lot going on here, but you mentioned the Doors, so here we are. So the Doors, and this is not the mind blow, but the Doors were known as the Raven. Okay, the band was known as the Raven, but Jim Morrison was reading Aldous Huxley. You're a smart guy, you know Aldous Huxley. He wrote a book on psychedelic drugs, and he called it The Doors of Perception. Okay. That was the Addis Huxley book. That title comes from a quote from The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, which is by William Blake. And he wrote this. You ready? If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. So this is a William Blake quote in The Marriage of Heaven and Hell that Aldous Huxley took for The Doors of Perception, his book. And that's what Jim Morrison was reading when he renamed the Raven The Doors. You with me?
Yeah.
So Blake's Marriage of Heaven and Hell also inspired a book called The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. And this is about your like the divorce of heaven and hell. So this was like C.S. Lewis's response to the Blake book that was inspired, the Aldous Huxley book that inspired Jim Morrison to name his band The Doors. Okay, so you're like, Mike, where is it? Okay, so ready? C.S. Lewis and Aldous Huxley, they died on the exact same day, November 22nd, 1963. But, my dear friend Abbas, very few people even noticed that these heavyweights, these literary heavyweights, had passed away on November 22nd, 1963. Do you know why? It was barely made a ripple in the news.
Did Jim Morrison die that day?
No, he dies in like 71, I think. 70 or 71. 1963, November 22nd.
Is that when
but you're on the
Malcolm
right
X got
path.
shot?
See, no, but you want me? I'll let you know right now. Somebody did get shot. That is the day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated.
yeah.
So C.S. Lewis, Aldous Huxley, John F. Kennedy, they all died that day. And that story, and as I say it out loud, I'm glad I'm using it now. I probably won't use it Thursday. But that is, of course, all tied into The Doors.
Shitty time to die. Imagine anyone who went missing that day or those couple days. They're just like...
Farrah Fawcett, do you know that? In fact, I was just talking about Farrah Nasser, but Farrah Fawcett, is that a name you've ever heard before?
The faucet part, yes.
Okay, well...
I'm a big fan of faucet.
Shout out to that bathtub place. That
And
was
plumbing.
At,
Shout out to plumbing in general.
So, Farrah Fawcett died the day that Michael Jackson was murdered, and she's another one who kind of got lost in the noise there.
I like that we're going with fully murdered now, huh? This is
Isn't
new.
that a fact? Wasn't that proven?
Well, I mean, it was malpractice, right? So if does
I thought he was
malpractice
murdered.
I thought the doctor got whatever for malpractice, and I don't know if anything, it's manslaughter.
I'm not up to date on my like Michael Jackson death stuff, but I thought it had been like promoted to murder. What?
Has it?
I don't know. Now I need to Google
I mean,
it.
it's
and find
sensationalist
out.
as hell. I love it. The murder of Michael Jackson. I'm waiting on the
See, I've been
documentary.
telling people for years that Michael Jackson was murdered.
See, all the people who don't read the news, they're just propagating now. Yeah, he
That's
got
right.
murdered. I've heard
This is why you need to get your news from another source.
should have Googled Yeah, no, I thought he was on constant sort of like sleeping medication, and the doctor just kind of overdid it and just kind of gave him
well,
that
you know
permanent
what?
sleep, you know?
You know what? Well, look, if you can phone Amish while
Yeah,
we're
let me get
recording
back.
here.
I mean, if you could get the mindfulness healing meditation.
What does that mean? He's doing a mindfulness, like what he's hosting.
Amish is
something?
super into
I'm sure he told me, but
meditation now. He literally hosts a thing where he goes, think about this and let it go and meditate on that and this and that. It's like a guided meditation, essentially.
Okay, so now I'm looking quickly through the Wikipedia page titled "Death of Michael Jackson."
Yeah.
On August, here it is. This is where my fun, it's not fun at all. My non-fun fact comes from August 28th, 2009. The Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner Coroner concluded that Jackson's death was a homicide.
Ooh.
And we all know that means it's murder. Jackson had been administered propofol, an anti-anxiety benzodiazepines, lorazepam, and midazolam by his doctor. Murray, his name was, this bad doctor, Conrad Murray, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in November 2011 and was released in 2013 after serving 2 years of his 4-year prison sentence with time off for good behavior.
Good behavior. Ah, you gotta love that good behavior.
Okay, so the conviction is manslaughter, but the coroner concluded it was a homicide. So, so maybe I need to say instead of murder, I don't know how you word that exactly.
So he killed Michael Jackson, but he made his bed every night for 2 years. So, I mean, he corrected it with the good behavior at least.
Right, but maybe, because Michael Jackson, I don't know if you heard, but there was some controversy about him, so maybe...
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, so maybe
Really?
they're like, oh, we're okay with this. Like maybe there's a little of that going on. Who knows? But there you go. Okay, we cleared that up. What did you think of the Doors thing? Not that great a mind blow, is it? As I say it out loud.
I was hoping I was hoping it was going to be about Jim Morrison. It always comes down to.
So you're a big Doors fan?
I wouldn't say I'm a big Doors
I chat
fan.
about Jim Morrison. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought anything you hear about the Doors seems to kind of come back on like who the lead guy is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Although that's another keyboard band, like is it Ray Manzarek? But that keyboard that's the sound of the Doors when you think about it. Like it's very keyboard centric.
Do you play keyboard?
No. But I do have a keyboardist here tomorrow.
But yeah, exactly. You keep going around. Like the keyboardist to that was actually this. I'm like, it seems like
do you
there might
play
be
keyboards?
Yeah, I do not. And in fact, funny story. I got taken out of music class when I was a kid. Just how religious my mom was.
So what's your relationship like with your mom now? Like
It's
I think
good,
that'd be
you know
tough,
what I
but
mean?
I would think that would be tough.
Well, after 3 years of engineering and then leaving that to do comedy and acting, it's
Did you get the
difficult.
degree?
Oh, absolutely. I was an engineer for
Okay.
3 years.
So what do you do for money?
I'm an actor. I book comedy. I tour comedy. I pretty much acting comedy and making content online for whoever the hell is pretty much how I make my nut.
I have a tweet from Abbas Wahab. Wahab? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
You
for
got it,
censoring
brother.
that
It's
guy.
actually getting good. You're dialing
Abbas
it in.
Wahab on Twitter is not that you tweet very much, but
Right, rarely tweet.
the Abbas Wahab, and you wrote, "Acting is weird. You book something once every couple of months, and while you're on set for a day, you get treated like a rich diva. Then you leave, turn on the Uber Eats app, and deliver food to the crew members' houses."
It's true. That's a true story. That's a true story.
So tell me, like what are you booking? And you sounds like you book something every couple of months. But other than the boys,
Yeah,
what else have
literally
you?
it is.
What else have you booked other than the boys?
Handmaid's Tale. I just did.
Yeah, that's good.
Star Trek.
I watched that.
Yeah, I was a full Star Trek, the new season of Strange New Worlds, episode 1. I'm a Klingon. I'm the Klingon.
Okay, because
guy.
FOTM Dana Levinson appeared in that show. So go back to the Handmaid's Tale first, and then we'll get to the Star Trek thing. What did you do on the Handmaid's Tale?
Just one line in the scene with was it Kate Moss or whatever the hell, but
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss, yeah. Kate Moss is another actress, right?
Yeah, she was with wasn't she with Johnny Depp or something? back in the-
Yeah, that's
she's
Kate
a
Moss,
model,
yeah.
I think.
The correct Moss, yeah, the one who's number one on
Oh
the
my
call
God,
sheet,
and
whereas
think-
I'm like 900. He's like, what's her name again?
And
Yeah,
remember,
her.
you were talking about the Doors, okay? The Rolling Stones are named. I think the Rolling Stones are named after the Dylan song, like a Rolling Stone. I think, but that comes from the expression, "A Rolling Stone gathers no moss."
Because it's always
Elizabeth
moving,
Moss.
baby. It's always
Okay.
moving.
All right. Back to this.
Yeah, I just do one quick line in one quick random scene. A lot of these times you do the show and like all the actors in it love the show. So like I can't believe I read the whole script and it's like I'm like I have none of only
didn't
the
know where you
boys
were.
only the boys that actually watch and enjoy the show. So usually I have no idea what's going on and I'm not.
And you
really,
didn't read the Margaret Atwood novel that
I did
inspired
not.
this show.
I did not. It's on my list, Mike. It's on my list. But it was very fun. It was very interesting to actually work because usually there's a strange vibe between the leads and whatnot and just how they operate on set. But this was a very fun and loose set. I forget the name of the director, but it was hilarious. At one point he goes, right before we start shooting, he looks at the whole everyone on set right before we go. And he goes, remember, no one is to feed or make eye contact with Elizabeth Moss. And everyone just dies laughing. I forget the director had pure comic timing.
Okay, did you ever see the show Mad Men?
Absolutely. I actually like that show.
Okay, well, there's Elizabeth Moss's big breakthrough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She wasn't that. Yeah, hell yeah. She was a secretary, right?
She was a huge...
Or she's
well,
the
she
wife.
rose the ranks. No, she was secretary.
Yeah.
And then she rose the ranks to become like...
Despite all odds. Don't forget despite
no.
all odds.
There was a weird story. I mean, I guess I am going to spoil a bit because it's been a long time.
Yeah,
but
spoiler
they did this
alert.
whole thing where she got pregnant with Peter's baby. And this was a whole thing. By the way, the actor who played Peter, his wife was in Handmaid's Tale. The one from Gilmore Girls, Rory Gilmore, who my wife met at a Ontario Science Center and asked for a selfie, and she politely said no.
Next to the electrostatic.
Yeah. So,
she continued to touch the ball that made her hair stink.
okay, so
I'm
so,
actually a little busy.
this was like an early storyline that Peggy was her name. Okay, Peggy was pregnant, and Don Draper. There was a cool scene where like she's giving birth or something, and Don Draper said something like, "It will shock you how much this never happened," and like literally it was never referenced again. Like it was like it never happened. Like this never came back. It's just she gave birth. I don't know what happened to the baby, and then she came back to work, and it was like it never happened. That was a whole early storyline on
The
that.
1950s. Jesus.
Peggy Olson, that was her name. Elizabeth Moss. Okay, so you did that. You did the boys you mentioned, and then you mentioned that Star Trek series. Anything else I've heard of? Those are three big ones, though.
Yeah, I did a pretty sick role in What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you know that show.
I've heard of it because people tell me it's great. I've never seen it, but I heard good things. That's another big one. You only do good shows?
It's just been good.
Isn't there a lot of shitty shows you could be doing there, boss?
Oh, there's a lot of shitty shows I've done. Those are the ones that I've
These
written.
are
been involved with.
you're name dropping the ones that people like you're proud of.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's what you were going for too. I think we're both on the same page here.
What's the worst thing you ever did?
Well, when I first started, I would do a lot of background stuff, and that background is definitely the worst.
Is that where you have to pretend you're having a conversation in a restaurant or something?
Yeah,
like
they just tell you say peas and carrots, peas and
Okay.
carrots, peas and carrots. Whoa, those people are having a conversation. You can tell by the fact that their lips are moving, saying peas and carrots.
So from now on, when I see people in the background, I have to I know they're saying peas.
Tune
and
in on
carrots.
it. Yeah, a lot of the
Okay.
times it is peas and carrots.
That was a mind blow you could have delivered on Thursday night. You might have won with that one.
You know that show American Gods?
No.
There's a show called American Gods filmed here in Toronto. When I first got in the game, I was a slave in the background. Not even a foreground slave, a background slave.
What's the furthest you've traveled for a role? Like, do you make these? Oh, you got to be
I did a
filming in
commercial
Toronto.
in
Like, how far would you travel?
Nova
for a role?
Scotia.
That's far.
A Nissan commercial a long
Oh,
time
and
ago.
Nissan lent me that car last week. the
Yeah,
Armada.
the Nissan Qashqai. I was there.
See, I'm gonna say that's not.
Qashqai.
Oh yes, Qash QASH.
The garbage car.
Is
Sorry,
it?
Nissan, but it's
I think
not a
my
good
ex-wife drives one. Like, I mean, maybe it's a
Yeah,
garbage car, I
exactly.
don't know.
Good. You know what I mean?
You could fit two of those inside the Armada. Just you can just
Honestly, if you could cut them up and like piece them down, probably 3. The Armada's a boat.
it's
dude.
big. It's big.
It makes an Escalade look like a Civic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It gets rolling over Escalades on the.
Hope people like this car
401.
talk.
It's auto talk.
Makes the Escalade look like a Forte.
Did you? And here I'm asking you about all the pop culture things, but you know some of them, you don't know others. But what about Star Wars? Like, did you ever watch the original?
You know what's
A
funny
New
about
Hope?
Star Wars?
Tell me
I
anything about
watched
Star Wars.
all of Family Guy's like parodies,
Blue
Blue
Harvest,
Harvest, and all of those. I watched those first before watching the original 4, 5, 6. And then when I did watch 4, 5, 6, I loved them even more.
Then you got like the references.
Oh yeah, I knew everything was gonna happen. I was dying laughing in advance, even though nothing's funny happening. I just remembering the satire I watched first.
No, they were good. Those Family Guy.
They were awesome.
And it's what you did there. So I grew up. I guess I was 15 when I first saw it. I guess I'm already grown up. But watching like a lot of Simpsons, and Simpsons always did a lot of like parodies and stuff of like stuff I had never seen, and then I'd always make a point as I got older. I'm like, I need to see Psycho. Like I need to see all these like old movies that are like being referenced to Heck and Gone.
Same. I grew up. Simpsons taught me English pretty much.
Is that right?
Oh, I moved to Canada in '97 when I was 6, and I would watch Simpsons twice a day for growing up until 18. Everything I watched was Simpsons. In fact, I would go back and every classic I watched, I would slowly realize Simpsons reference all this stuff. When I first watched Chinatown, like Polanski's Chinatown,
that's a good one.
I was like, wow, Simpsons did all this thing. I never realized it.
Citizen Kane. You ever seen Citizen Kane?
I haven't, but I bet you I'll be like, oh, that's what Montgomery Burns did or whatever.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of Monty Burns as such. Even the name, like Charles Montgomery Burns, I think, is because of Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane's like 3.5 hours, isn't it? Though it's like King Kong length.
Yeah, but you should see it. Like I feel like that's like one of those things. Like it's like almost like it's like Jaws. Okay, you should see Jaws.
I know.
Like,
I got Casablanca on that list.
Casablanca or Gone with the Wind. Like, or have you? Or
Gone with the Wind's like a school one. They made us watch that in school.
The Scarlet Little Hair. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, lots going on here with Simpsons and stuff, but Star Wars, and then we'll get back to Simpsons. But so you've seen 4, 5, 6.
Seen 1 to 6.
You've seen the 1 to 6. Okay. Did you watch them in order, or did you do 4, 5, 6 first, and then?
No, I did 1, 2, 3 because when I was a kid, those were popping off in theaters. So I watched 1, 2, 3, and it was just an action movie. I didn't even get what the hell was going on because I never watched 4, 5, 6. Then watch Family Guy, then watch 4, 5, 6, and I was like, oh. Then I got the fandom when I watched 4, 5, 6.
So when you're watching 1, okay, so I'm now, and I just had a this is all tying into an episode I had on Friday, which I want to talk about for a moment. But like, okay, that's the young
Skywalker.
Anakin, child Anakin is pod
Anakin,
racing.
Yeah.
And he's being mentored by Obi-Wan Kenobi, I guess, who's, and Ian McGregor, I guess, is Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you don't have any sense of like who Darth Vader is.
No, I'm a car guy. So to me, episode 1 is like alien version of Fast and the Furious. Like that whole first scene, this is alien Fast and the Furious. You got to put turbos on it, kid, or whatever the hell, right?
Now that's pod racing.
Yeah, right.
What did you think of Jar Jar Binks?
I thought he was over the top. I didn't get the context of the whole show at that time.
Well, I mean, that character, I think, is casually racist. Like,
is he? Who is he supposed to be?
I think
like that's Jar Jar Binks, right?
Yeah,
the big one.
Misa. What I mean?
Kind of like slavish, right? Yeah, right. That reminds me of my background scene actually on American Gods. Except I had no lines. I was just saying peas and carrots. Even slaves say peas and carrots.
Jar Jar Binks, I don't think. I mean,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And he's all over that episode. But then I know that if you watch 2 and 3, which you did, very little Jar Jar, like almost no Jar Jar.
Yeah,
it's like they realized, like this.
The focus groups did not poll well. That a lot of black people in those focus groups.
So the guy, this is a mind blow for you, buddy. The guy who created the lightsaber, he also created R2-D2, and he created the Millennium Falcon, and a whole whack of other stuff from Star Wars lore. That guy, he actually ended up, this guy I'm referring to, won an Academy Award for art direction for what he did on Star Wars, okay? That guy's name is Roger Christian, and he lives in Mimico, okay? He's an immigrant.
Mimico is in Ontario?
Oh, Mimico is right next door to where you are now. Like it's south, it's in Toronto, actually.
I thought it was all going to tie into the Doors, to be honest with you. And he was Jim Morrison's grandson.
He might have been, because he's, Jim Morrison, who's American, but he died in Paris, and I don't know where I'm going with that one. Okay, so I've been to his grave, though. I've been to Jim Morrison's grave. I can show you pictures later. But Roger Christian lives in Mimico, which is a neighborhood in like southwest Toronto, not far from where you're sitting right now. And he came over last Friday. So I basically had the creator of all that Star Wars stuff I just name-checked sitting beside the creator of Just Like Mom. Have you heard of Just Like Mom?
I have not.
Way before your time. Way before your time.
Way.
That guy's name is Paul Burford, and this episode is just sneaky fantastic. Maybe not even sneaky, just fantastic. So it's the one just before yours. So if you're episode 1,
So go ahead and just leave this episode right now.
Pause the Abbas episode.
Yeah, leave this episode. In fact, break whatever
check
you're
out
listening to this on.
Roger Christian on Toronto Mike, because he's fantastic. Okay, so let's talk a little more. So I know you're friends with Amish. We had him on the program. I don't know if you name checked this when I went up to grab your beer, but your debut comedy album is out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's called Safe Black. And this is essentially the vibe I got once I started booking all these commercials. The reason I am booking is because I'm what I would call a type as Safe Black. You know, it's the type of black person that all these sort of commercial interests want to use for representing their interests.
Okay, be more specific here. I'm very interested now. What does that mean, Safe Black?
Safe Black. Think of the Allstate black guy. Safe Black. Yeah. You know, I'm a safe-looking black guy, and I've got you in my thoughts, and I hope.
So,
that
what makes
everything is
this
safe.
person safe?
Well, in my experience,
do you mean
it's been good
safe?
teeth, probably a beard. You know what I mean? Think of Uncle Phil in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Yeah. Good teeth, probably a beard, maybe a little chubby. I'm not chubby, but hey, you know, that would probably help, and the Santa Claus look would probably help a little bit. But just the idea.
Oh, like
of
Carl maybe in
Carlton?
No, I'm thinking.
Oh, in Simpsons?
No, Family Matters. Did you ever watch Family Matters?
No, I was on Simpsons. And
Yeah.
Sister, and whatever the hell.
Well, I didn't watch it either, but I think he's the cop from Die Hard. If you ever said.
Oh yeah, nice mustache. Yeah. Oh, nothing says safe like a mustache.
He's chubby. But are you okay? So a nice looking black man is a safe black man, and you were you placed
commercial
a safe
interest.
black man on many an ad. Is there any big national ads you can like point? Like
a ton.
Okay, start talking to me about some of these ads, and we'll get back to the comedy album.
You know, McDonald's, Questrade, Nissan.
Okay, these are big brands. So when you're in which McDonald's is it? Like, I mean,
I did a McDonald's billboard. I did a McDonald's that mixed the spicy chicken thing. I did that a while back. That was the first big one.
Now I'm going to be spotting you everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. What's funny is one time, actually, I do a whole bit about this on the special in the album. Is one time I booked a McDonald's commercial, and it's two neighbors. One is shoveling snow. One is bringing coffee. It's a McCafe commercial. One is bringing coffee. Hey, you know what? Thanks for shoveling. Here's a coffee for both of us. And anyways, we do it a lot of times where I'm bringing coffee, the other guy's shoveling. It's a white guy. And then eventually I'm like, hey, can I shovel? And they pretty much would not allow me to shovel in this commercial. Oh, because they're like, we don't want you to look like Jar Jar Binks. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see that. Yeah, it's like,
that's what I mean.
You will not do a single thing for that white man.
You will not be doing any physical movements in here. We're trying to sell coffee, buddy, not get sued.
Okay, now I'm fascinated by this. So when you book an ad, I have friends who book ads, and like if they're national ads, you get paid differently than if they're like so. Like, what is the most lucrative ad you've ever booked?
The most lucrative ad.
I'm looking for some financial details here, boss. I'm curious how much money there is in these ads. And have you ever had an ad that was aired in the United States?
I have, and it was non-union, so I got screwed. Pretty much here's how it goes. Here's the drift.
Let's hear the real talk. Let's go.
Union defines how much you get paid. Everything is standardized. Scale. $800 to $900 a day. This is what they define as. This is what you get paid. Most jobs are scale. Now, if it's a big one, they might be like, we'll offer 2 times scale. And if you're a big client, your agent will be like, my client will only do it for 4 times scale, whatever the hell, right? So you. But
is this a one-time payment?
This is a one-time payment, but for a 13-week cycle. So if they renew it, you get paid again.
Like you did it again. Okay. Now there's.
So I did one for OLG. Pretty much, I'm on a couch being like, gamble, right? Is the gist of it. And that one I keep getting checked. It's been running for years, where you just get a check in the mail again because they ran it for another 13 weeks.
Wow, like that must be amazing when you get the check and you realize, I guess they renewed that.
It's a couple grand out of nowhere, and you're like, what? Yes. And the universe is a beautiful thing. It comes to you right when you need it. Right when you need it.
Other days you go to the mailbox, and is it literally mail, or is it like auto deposit?
It is literally mail. It is still literally mail.
So you ever go to the mailbox and like there's several checks there, and you're like, you feel like your daddy Warbucks or what?
It's happened before. It's not a frequent feeling, but it's a terrific feeling, you know? Terrific.
Okay, this is a good gig. So you feel you're a safe black man, but it sounds like, I mean, what do I know? I've never ever filmed an ad, safe or unsafe. But you're using the word safe. Maybe you're using it as a synonym for handsome.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
there's some level of handsome where they don't want to book it, right? Because if you get like model perfection, they don't get booked in a lot of commercials because they're not relatable level, right?
Right.
So you gotta be down to earth level of regular day-to-day beauty, right? So maybe if I had a full head of hair, I would be fucked up. But hey, the baldness has brought me back to reality, Mike, and it's beautiful.
Knocked you down just enough that you can book these ads.
I'm within the realms
you're
of regular.
attainable handsome.
Exactly, regular people. Exactly, and it's a beautiful thing.
Have you ever done a movie, like appeared in a movie?
I have, but it's movies you would never heard of. It's all freaking shitty
Indie
wedding
movie?
movies in Barrie, like the Barrie wedding. I don't know if you know this, but in Barrie, they're filming all the wedding. What's it called? Hallmark. All the Hallmark movies.
Oh, I do know they
Barrie.
do them in Ontario. I didn't know they were Barrie. But,
They're all in Barrie.
I feel like Ron Oliver's. I don't know. Ron Oliver had a show way before your time on YTV called the Ron Oliver Show, and I used to watch this thing. And I've been told he now. I think Weisblot told me, but he now directs like all these like Hallmark movies. Like they pump them out.
They pump them out. They always make their money back, and they're super cheap to make. So I've done a bunch of garbage little like cafe clerk. Okay, and here's your change, $268, and no one is ever gonna see. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I might not see them, but I think that they're popular. I think a lot of people tune into these Hallmark Christmas movies. No, what do I know? I feel like they're popular. No?
Well, I mean, if they were, I would have name dropped them along with Handmaid's Tale and Star Trek earlier.
You got to promote them. I think it's a bigger deal. Than
I don't even know the
man.
names, to be honest with you. The names come and go. It'll be like Susan Comes Home or whatever the hell, you know?
You, my friend, have just returned or recently returned from the 2022 Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
I need to know, like, what was it? What's Winnipeg like? First of all, is that your first visit to Winnipeg?
It is.
What's Winnipeg like? What?
Horrible. Horrible.
You doing a joke?
No, no, I am not. Hey, the only way to describe it for anyone out there who actually watched Simpsons and loves Simpsons, you're rubbing your eyes like we got a big Winnipeg fan base.
I just lost both my Winnipeg listeners.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're just gonna have to be sitting there toothless, just with nothing to hear. No, but here's the thing about Winnipeg, though. It feels like a city that bought a bad monorail and got bankrupted by it. That's the only way to describe it.
I know you don't know this, but last Thursday I played the monorail song on Toronto Mike when I was kicking out my favorite jams.
Oh,
by
Phil
cartoon
Hartman. There's no
characters.
better.
Yeah.
There's no better.
Lyle Lanley, right?
You know, a town with money is a lot like a mule with the spinning wheel. No one knows how you got it, and damn if he knows how to use it.
Boss, I did just play. I can't believe you just name dropped the monorail episode. One of my favorite songs is that monorail.
One of the best episodes, too. I shouldn't have stopped for the haircut. But so pretty much that's how Winnipeg feels. There's a lot of buildings that look like they were made in the last couple of years. A lot of parking structures that look like they're pretty recently constructed. And it's just a ghost town. Just a ghost town with a lot of like crazy level like drug addiction, mental health issues just roaming around type of deal.
What time of season, like what season were you there? When were you there exactly?
When was I there? May. This May.
Okay, I'm disappointed.
I mean, it was what, 21? I mean, it was like good weather.
Shout out to FOTM Fred Penner, who spends a lot of his time in Winnipeg. I know he's there quite a bit. And the Watchmen. Okay, this is a rock band, one of my favorite rock bands of all time. 3 members of the Watchmen are FOTMs themselves. You are now an FOTM, by the way, friend of Toronto Mike.
Woo!
A boss, you can wear that with pride.
Do I get some merch for that as well?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna find something for you here from
I'm gonna be
Ridley
leaving with
Funeral Home. I got something for you here.
A lot of
Ridley Funeral
doodads.
Home. Yeah, I just went camping with the 2 little kids, and they had their Ridley Funeral Home flashlights with them when they'd go to the washroom. Here, I'm gonna grab one right now. But I'm surprised to hear this about Winnipeg. Like maybe you caught it on a bad day. I don't know. Did you? Maybe you were just.
No, the locals were telling me what was going on. I'm like, what the hell happened to this city? Like, let me put this in perspective, all right? When I go to tape, true story, when I go to tape,
Yeah.
the shirt I was wearing was fucking with the cameras.
Okay.
So producers were like, we need you to go to the mall. Would you get a new shirt? So a driver takes me to the mall, get a new shirt. As I'm
Right.
driving with this driver,
Yeah.
he was a musician. I forget his name, but
Fred Penner.
his name is Gunner because I got a dog and my dog's name's Gunner. And I told him that.
You're
He's
sure
like, my
it's
name's Gunner.
not Penner.
His name was Gunner.
Okay, first of all, let me hand this to you. That's from Ridley Funeral Home, okay?
Thank you,
Pillars
thank
of
you.
this community. And people can listen to Brad's podcast, Life's Undertaking, wherever you get your podcast. And Brad Jones will be at TMLXX on Thursday if you want to come shake his hand or get a selfie with him. He's a great guy. But that's a nice flashlight for you from great.
Absolutely.
Continue from Ridley. Keep going.
But yeah, anyways, this guy was telling me, what the hell happened to the city? And he's telling me, well, there's a lot of issues happening. There's a lot of there's a lot of gang activity and there's so much stuff happening where it's like a lot of immigrants are coming and they're kind of just being absorbed into the gangs that kind of like correspond to the area that they come from and whatever. But there's a lot of stabbing violence in Winnipeg. A lot of stabbing, and people stab you there with screwdrivers, apparently. So if you see anyone with like steel-toe boots or a toolbox, look the fuck out. That's all I'm saying. But this guy told me, this is a true story, that his father was a police officer and was stabbed to death on force, the final death of the 1970s in Winnipeg. And the city, crazy stabbing violence. It's just, I don't know what the hell is going on out there.
It sounds horrific. Like, I had no idea.
Dude, all I'm saying is this. They had us at a Fairmont Hotel, and me and my girlfriend, we wouldn't go anywhere that the Fairmont Hotel was not visible. We were like within, it has to be visible.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I had no idea. And we think this might have to do with
The downtown is rough, especially. The
Yeah?
suburbs are where most people are. So everyone tells you the suburbs is really where everyone is, like right outside. The downtown is kind of like, oh, we can't control this. Get out of here.
Well, that
It's
sounds
theirs.
like an American city.
It does.
Because we typically, that's like you hear about, not now, but I think they're rebuilding it. But you hear, oh, no one, Detroit. Goodbye, Detroit. We're all living in the suburbs now or whatever. But that sounds awful for Winnipeg. Like, I'm very sorry to hear that you had.
Hey, I wish them all the best, but hey, I'm just calling it how I saw it. You know what I mean?
You got to tell me what you witnessed. This you mentioned, and because it might tie into like the Immigrant Section. The Immigrant Section, by the way, that's the name of your
Yes, sir.
podcast. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But with the immigrant experience, is there a vulnerability at play there where you can be susceptible to joining these gangs you alluded to? Because I heard you just say.
Well, that's what he
something.
told me. The guy said, so pretty much all these guys come and you're trying to survive and you just kind of get amalgamated into whatever it is. Like everyone is very ethnically divvied up in these gangs. There's a lot of gangs. There's like Aboriginal gangs and African gangs and white gangs and this and this.
This is like the show Oz. In Oz, everyone broke into factions.
Apparently that's how it's going down over there, and you just kind of feel it.
You're not doing a great job. Like I was thinking one day I want to see Winnipeg. Like it's a big.
I mean, go see it and be like, that guy was full of shit. We're at ice cream. It's a beautiful time. This is heaven. This is like Disneyland. You know what I mean? But hey, I saw what I saw, and I went in there with an open mind, a clean slate.
Okay, now let's brighter topic here. Like so, the 2022 Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Oh, that was a blast.
What exactly? I've heard this. What exactly is it? Ron James was telling me about this, but what exactly is it?
They just put you into the Burton Cummings Theater, which is like the big theater over there, and they just kind of televise it for, you do galas. So they do different galas that are all like themed. One is themed death, one is themed family, one is themed, mine was called Misguidance Systems, which is like, I got taught this, but really it was this. You know what I mean? Like all the teachers said to do that, but really it was this. You know what I mean? Like that's Misguidance System in a nutshell. I did that one. There's sex. There's
And you write your own stuff.
You write your own stuff.
Okay.
You pretty much submit.
Is it CBC? Who's doing this?
CBC.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be televised on CBC probably next year because they kind of fell behind during COVID. But you do the gala. Do 8 to 10 comics per gala.
Wow.
And it's weird because you submit your set in advance, then you have to transcribe it, and then they tell you can't say A, B, C. And then if during the live taping, if you mess up anything, it's like a full live audience. They ask the comedian to come back out just to say the one joke again. And it's so weird because the audience is like, what the hell? You're like, okay, so I guess they didn't like this, so let's try it. So anyways, my dad's always in the basement. It's so weird.
Well, no wonder it always looks perfect. You guys are cheating.
Exactly. Oh, well, before
I'm
it
not
even
giving you a redo if you butcher a segment on this program.
Before they even start, they go, all right, audience, now give us a loud cheer. Now give us a medium applause and give us a low laugh, like a ooh. So they already have all the audio they need to.
And there's like
doctor
the
it.
signs that go up which one to do. Like, are
Like
you?
applause.
The,
There's
the
no.
crowd,
I was
is the
looking
crowd? Okay,
for an
no
applause sign. No applause sign.
That's cheating too.
It broke my heart, to be honest. I was waiting for the applause sign, but they get all the levels of applause and laughter they need in advance.
Wow, I'm learning so much. Okay, and they can always throw in like a Wilhelm
Everything.
scream.
It's doctored to the max. You can't do wrong.
You can't trust anything anymore. But you did write your own material.
Absolutely.
And when can I see this on TV? Is it airing soon, or you're going to tell me now I missed
Well,
it?
I know my good friend Noor Kidwai, comedian out from Calgary, he taped his last year, and it just aired a month ago. So
Okay.
I'm assuming, I thought it would come out, the director told me it would come out soonish. I thought it would come out this fall, but I'm thinking it might come out next year.
Well, give me a note when the heck this is airing. I'll stream CBC Gem to hear Abbas Wahab on the
Just
2022 Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
But just so you know, if you want to hear the bit as it was originally done and performed, it's all on Safe Black on my YouTube channel.
Please tell people where they can get Safe Black and where they can, help you out. Like, where can we support
Just go to
you?
AbbasWahab.com. It's on my homepage.
Okay, spell it for those who aren't sure how Wahab is spelled.
Oh, so everyone. AbbasWahab.com. It's right there, or YouTube.com. Just type in my name. You'll find it on YouTube. You'll find it on my website. You'll find it on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Check it out.
Okay, and that's Safe Black. That's your
That's my debut little album.
right. And the podcast, the Immigrant
Section, also everywhere. Full videos on my YouTube again. Abbas, just type in theimmigrantsection.com or go to my website, and it's all connected on the website.
Do you edit your podcast, or is it all live to tape?
Everything is like, by editing, I don't remove anything, but I go in and add a little. It's video too, so it'll be like a little subscribe thing.
Oh,
like,
okay. I mean, the audio part though.
I do all my own editing for the audio. Absolutely, yeah. But I wanted to get one of these Roadcasters.
Yeah.
But
the prices have come down on these. Like I bought this for.
It was like $1,000 plus when it first came out.
Yeah, it was. I think this was like 900 plus tax or something.
Yeah,
and I was told I could have been.
I use a little
Mine too.
Zoom PodTrack P4, and I just kind of on Adobe Audition just kind of compress the audio and just I
fatten it up a bit, get it out there.
Exactly. My audio is like 5 minutes of editing.
And you got good mics. What kind of mics you use?
Rode Pod mics, very nice.
Yeah, the pod mics. They're like $220 or something.
Yeah, very nice little dynamic mics.
I have a client that's using them. Okay,
Yeah.
this is like the level. Well, that didn't exist when I bought these, but these are like $300 plus tax. These are the Procasters.
Very nice though.
Gotta get right on these, sucker. Okay, so many things I want to learn here from you. Okay, so I'm not on TikTok. I just wanted to declare that. I don't feel particularly like again,
Welcome.
I'm much older than you. I don't feel like it's for me. Like I don't think I belong on TikTok. Like that might be my own little like silly thoughts because my kids are on TikTok. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, and it feels like their domain. And I prefer Twitter, and I'm on Twitter, and it feels like my mom's domain is Facebook. Like I feel like we've all got our like territories or whatever. But you, my friend, you have like 120,000 followers on TikTok. Like how come you're kicking ass on TikTok? How's TikTok going for you?
During the pandemic, I just I couldn't go on stage anymore, so I just started creating a bunch of content and garnered a little following there. But what's funny? TikTok is actually surprisingly a little bit for the older people because I went to a podcast. In fact, with Amish, we went down to Orlando for Podfest, which is an annual like podcast thing, and they've got. With it, they do something called VidFest, where they start talking about everything video related. And one guy just did. I remember his little keynote. He goes, a lot of people think that they're too old to enter into TikTok, but the statistics show that most of the contributors to TikTok are in the 30 to 40 range.
What?
And if you look at the second most frequent contributors, from the 40 to 50 range. You know what I mean? So
if my kids find out, they're going to uninstall the app.
But all the 20-year-olds are turning 30 and all the 30-year-olds are turning 40. But it's like, TikTok is very weird. If I do a video that's very polished, it doesn't do well. I have to give it a vibe of undergroundness. I have to make it. I have to dirty it up.
But don't you get tired of these games? Like these apps?
I am so tired.
I am I've come a long time ago. Like I'm pushing this podcast. I care about it. This is my podcast. I have sponsors. It matters to me. But everything around it, like I don't care about like how many people like a tweet. I don't care how many people like something I post on Instagram. I'm going to take a photo of you after this and I'm going to put it on Instagram. I don't care if 5 people like it. I don't care. I don't care about any of this engagement because it's like once I start to play the game and I'm like, oh, I got to game the system.
Then you're catering.
No, thank you. Like I'm not interested in gaming your algorithm. But you
I do my stuff just through what I think is a novel approach. But if you want to kill it with the metrics, you have to follow their game. You have to do the effects they want you to do. You have to post 3 times a day because then you clearly are prioritizing their platform. It's a whole game. It really is a whole game.
That you mentioned that somebody was pointing out like how often they'd have to feed the TikTok beast. Yeah. I got a life, man. Like we got things to do. We got to create the core content. We can't be feeding the TikTok beast all day.
Exactly. No, I agree. Like I used to post, maybe once, max twice a day, because a lot of people just do, BS type of content. They're kind of dancing a little bit. I kind of try to do novel, funny things, which you can't. It's 1 a day is hard enough. 2 a day of those is difficult, unless you're doing just reaction videos, like where you're showing a video and being like, "Oh no," like this type of thing. But now I'll post like once, twice a week, and the algorithm won't push my stuff because they're like, well, we didn't really see you for a couple of days, so maybe this one just does okay.
Well, how frustrating, though, because you got your 120,000 followers, so, you've been doing all right there, but... Okay, and this is all... So now, okay, I'm asking these questions as a podcaster, but the Immigrant Section, in a nutshell... That's where you kind of showcase Toronto's rising ethnic talents, right?
Yeah.
Even though you just had a white dude on, but he did come from a test tube.
Well, just because I don't want to have it as a closed door to be, you must be this ethnic background, this ABC to enter this studio.
See, that's me. I'm
trying
to find out whether I'm ever going to be on the Immigrant Section, even if I was born in Parkdale there. Okay, but can you name check some rising ethnic talents using your words that have been showcased on the Immigrant Section?
Yeah, sure. The Salma Hindi, Keith Pedro.
Okay, go slower, though. Give me the name and then tell me, because I'm going to check them out. But give me their name and tell me what they're doing.
She's been on a couple times. She lives in New York now. She just toured all over the country as Chelsea.
We lost another one.
Chelsea Handler's
That's
opener.
the brain drain.
Yeah, there you go.
New York, okay. She toured with Chelsea Handler?
Yeah.
Amazing. And what's her name again?
Salma Hindi. S-A-L-M-A Hindi. Who else is killing it right now? So many people.
Amish Patel?
Amish Patel's been on many times. Amish Patel, is doing his own podcast stuff. He came down with me to Podfest. I had a cop on, Constable Mir Lodi. That was awesome. He's like the East Asian representative for like the police affairs thing.
Okay.
So he just goes on like and does media stuff, CTV, all this stuff. That was an awesome conversation.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've had on some doctors. I've had on some startup people. I mostly will have on comedians and actors, but every now and then I'll have on like non-entertainment people, and people actually enjoy those episodes the most, weirdly enough, They just like straight shot of like people who are killing it in whatever their field is.
And it all comes down to how charming and funny the host is, right?
We're doing our best. We're doing what we can. It makes it a lot easier when you got a nice Great Lakes Brewing burst with you.
So I was there today. Like, I wanted to, I need to know, because normally we have these, this will be the 5th time we've had a TMLX event at Great Lakes, but the first 4 times we're on the patio, and now we're on the lawn. So I'm like, where's the stage? Where's the table with the pasta? Where do people get their beer? Because we're going to have our own, bartender kind of just for our event here. And again, your first beer, no joke, your first beer is on the house. Like, if you came with $0.00 in your pocket, you would still leave with a full belly full of pasta and craft beer. This is no joke, everybody. But you have to be an FOTM, which you are, which means you're a listener of the program or you're a guest on the program. Okay. So I'm there. I'm seeing everything, visualizing, how many seats do we have? What do we do if we have more people than seats? And then we're talking about different things we can do. And I completely see it all. And I enjoyed a fresh burst on a beautiful, today's a beautiful day. We've had a great summer. That's quick. I'm all over the place. But did you notice how little rain we got this summer? Did you notice that.
I did, and I feel like it's gonna start raining the second I step out of this house now. So
Actually,
thanks
it
for
did
that,
look
Mike.
like it might rain, actually.
Thanks for that, Mike. My sunroof is open right now. That's how cocky we are this summer.
La-di-da, you have a car with a sunroof.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. No side mirrors, but
My Mazda
sunroof.
Protege I drove for 21 years did not have a sunroof. There was no sunroof.
Was it a 5-speed?
No. No, automatic, but
okay.
no sunroof. So, la-di-da. Okay. Anyway, so we're all set for TMLXX. I'm super excited about it. Running through your bio, we talked a lot about Star Trek and the boys, of course. But what is Children Ruin Everything?
Oh yeah, children. That's a.
And how come you didn't mention it? Are you embarrassed about it?
No, I just forgot it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Children Ruin Everything. Yeah, I did the pilot episode with some cool people out there. It's a sitcom by the same writer as Schitt's Creek, and it's on CTV with Ennis something, and these guys are like they've really established actors.
This is a new show
It's a new show, season 1.
from the people who did Schitt's Creek.
Correct.
That's big.
Yeah, it really
Schitt's
is.
Creek won like all the Emmy awards.
No, it's a big show. They got a big production fund.
It's CTV's airing this thing. But
Correct.
they're not syndicating it. Like it's a CTV original.
It's a CTV original. Syndicate. I mean, they're on season 1, so they're far from that type of stuff. Maybe they're.
But I mean, CTV will syndicate like an American show, like Big Bang Theory or whatever. Like so. But this is an actual.
I think Children Ruin Everything is already in Hulu America.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was fun, actually. That was a really cool cast. It's anytime I do a comedic role, I'm happy. A lot of these roles I do are kind of like more drama.
How many lines did you have?
4. 3,
I'm
4.
gonna. So I can stream this maybe from the CTV website or something. Where can I find this episode of Children Ruin Everything?
Just give it a goog. Give it a good old goog, Mike.
Which episode number is it? What
I'm
do you
on
know?
the pilot. I'm on the first
The
episode.
first episode.
Yeah.
That's going to be easy to find. Okay.
sir.
I
Poker night.
got to see some Abbas. Like now that I've met you in person,
You like what you see.
I was going to make a bad joke about like you're safe black, but that was just
But not in that show.
just to cross promote the fact that you've got some great content people can pick up right now at abbaswahab.com. Right?
That's correct, sir. Everything's
right.
on there.
Now, anything, and I'm so proud of myself. Women, say whim. Why did no one ever tell you? They don't teach you this in school. Like visually, woman and women, the first WOM is how they both start. So why is one whim and the other wom? Like I don't understand English, and I was born here.
The
Like,
mysteries of the language.
and by the way, when did you learn English from The Simpsons when you came here?
Yeah. I really just knew yes, no when I came in when I was 6. But yeah, we just sat in front of that TV and watched Simpsons nonstop.
Do you have a favorite episode?
You got to go with You Only Move Twice.
Yeah.
With Hank Azaria, right?
That's
But-
the Hank Scorpio.
Yeah, of course. The Hammock District. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Hammock
a third.
District on Hammock Drive.
Oh, the Hammock District. In fact, it's all the Hammock District.
That was improvised too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. This is a mind blow I always use as what's an example of a mind blow. So that that actor is not Hank Azaria. I know you meant Hank Scorpio, but
Oh, yeah. Did I say Azaria?
You said Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
He's my favorite.
We know what you
of the
mean
Simpsons
because you mean Albert Brooks. Okay? That's Albert Brooks. Albert Brooks' brother is the actor who played Super Dave Osborne. He's passed away now. Bob Einstein. That means Albert Brooks' real name, his birth name, is Albert Einstein.
Ooh, shit. Pow.
All right, boss. We're going to take a photo before you go, and you really are going to get a lasagna. But is there anything like when you were driving here and you were thinking, I want to make sure I shout this person out or I mention this? I don't want you to be driving home and thinking, I forgot to say this, that, the other. So drain that swamp here. What are all the things that you want to make sure you get on your Toronto Mike debut?
Hey, if you check out the self-produced special or if you listen to the album on any of the platforms.
Safe Black.
Safe Black, that's right. Abbas Wahab, ABBASWAHAB. Come see me live if you ever see me around in any of the clubs that are around you. I'm doing a Canada-wide tour this fall. And the podcast is on all platforms, the Immigrant Section, and that's pretty much it.
Canada-wide, so are you going to Winnipeg?
I'm going to go to Winnipeg.
I just got word here that you're now banned from Winnipeg.
Yeah,
You are not welcome.
That's shocking.
Yeah, they bugged the room, I guess. I don't know. I think we forgot to hang up on Amish, and he heard that, and he made a call to the mayor of Winnipeg.
That's the power of meditation.
You described the stabbiness of Winnipeg. My wife is from Edmonton, and I always joke about, like, it's Dedmonton because it's like the murder capital of this country.
Oh, Edmonton's great compared to Winnipeg.
So Edmonton is like is Paris. It's the Paris of the prairies compared to Winnipeg, Manitoba.
That's right.
I was just about to sign a deal, a lucrative sponsorship opportunity from the people behind Tourism Winnipeg, and you completely fucked that up.
Okay,
So
let's
thank you
just
very
say
much.
maybe I saw the wrong side. There's good people out there. I say sign it, Mike. Sign that damn deal.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,103rd show. I really hope I see your smiling, happy, handsome face at TMLXX. No pressure, but if I saw you there, I would be like, my heart would be warm to see you there. Abbas, we're now
One more time, where is it going to be?
Great Lakes Brewery, and they're on Twitter at Great Lakes Beer, and it's their South Etobicoke location, which is 30 Queen Elizabeth Boulevard. That's where you go. Just get there for 6 p.m. on Thursday. We're going to be there from 6 to 9. It's going to be great. Like, I've got some great musicians that are going to play. We have the Mind Blow competition. We have gifts, and it's going to be a good time. Free food, free drink. What more do you want here? So remind us how you don't really tweet, but where do you want us to follow you? On your Instagram? You've got lots of followers there, I noticed.
Yeah, just follow me. All the tour stuff will be public there in the coming weeks. Abbas Wahab, one more time, ABBASWAHAB. Or check out my website. I'll have a little piece of artwork for that as well.
Woo! Palma Pasta's at Palma Pasta. Sticker U is at Sticker U. Sticker U is going to have some stickers at TMLXX for everybody. Electronic Products Recycling Association are at EPRA_Canada. Ridley Funeral Home are at Ridley FH. And Canna Cabana are at Canna Cabana _. See you all tomorrow, and my special guest is Rob Pruce, kicking out the jams.
And I play this guitar just the best that I can.